What if I told you that over 70% of people suppress their emotions every single day? Not occasionally, every day. And the consequences? They're not just emotional. We're talking increased anxiety, depression, sleep disorders, chronic stress, even physical illnesses like high blood pressure, gut problems, heart disease. Avoiding your emotions might feel like you're protecting yourself, but in reality, you're building walls from the inside out. And the thing about walls, they don't just keep pain out, they keep connection out. Healing, joy, peace. Stick around because today we're uncovering the painful truth about what really happens when you bury your emotions and why facing them, as hard as it feels, could be the key to finally feeling alive again. Let's take a moment to be honest. Life right now, it's relentless. We wake up already in a rush, check our phones, scroll through headlines, drown in notifications, work, responsibilities, family, side hustles, always on, always reacting, always pretending we're okay. So, when sadness shows up or anger bubbles beneath the surface, what do? We swipe it away. We bury it under a snack, a drink, another episode, another deadline. We scroll, we post, we say, I'm fine. But underneath it all, something's aching. A part of you is asking quietly, when was the last time I actually felt something and didn't run from it? We've normalized emotional avoidance, but just because it's normal doesn't mean it's healthy. And the longer we avoid our feelings, the louder they eventually scream. So, why do we avoid our emotions? It's not just because we're weak or lazy or dramatic. There are deeper reasons, reasons rooted in how we were raised, how society shaped us, and how we learned to survive. Let's go back. Think about when you were little. If you cried, were you comforted or told to stop? If you got angry, were you listened to or punished? Many of us were raised to believe that negative emotions were inconvenient, something to hide. Boys are told, don't cry, be a man. Girls are told, don't be too emotional, calm down. We internalized it. Emotions equals weakness. So we learned to perform strength. We smiled when we were hurting. We kept going, even when our hearts were begging for rest. And it worked for a while. We survived. But survival mode isn't meant to last forever. It robs you of presence. It disconnects you from who you really are. Here's the truth. Emotions are not a liability. They're data. They're information. And when we ignore them, we're basically throwing away the body's most powerful feedback system. But it's not just childhood. Our culture glamorizes being unbothered. The grind, the glow-up. No feelings, just vibes. We treat emotional openness like an embarrassment, something we'll deal with after we make it. But what if I told you, the people who make it without dealing with their inner world often feel the emptiest? Think about it. You achieve the goal, but the joy feels thin. You get the promotion, but the anxiety doesn't stop. You smile in photos, but feel like you're disappearing in real life. Avoiding emotions might give temporary relief, but it doesn't give peace. Let's talk about what actually happens when we suppress our feelings. First, mental health takes a hit. You might not notice it immediately, but the weight builds. That sadness you didn't express, it festers. That fear you avoided, it grows in the dark. And soon you're waking up anxious, feeling numb, lashing out at people you love, and you can't quite figure out why. Second, the body keeps score. That's not just a metaphor, it's biology. Unprocessed emotions live in the body. They show up as chronic pain, fatigue, gut issues. Ever get a tight chest when stressed? Or a stomach ache before something emotional? That's not coincidence. That's your body speaking the truth your mind is avoiding. Third, our relationships suffer. When you avoid your own emotions, you also shut down emotionally with others. You might find yourself distant, easily irritated, struggling to connect. Your partner says, "You never open up." Your friend says, "I feel like you're not really here." And maybe you don't even know why. Let me tell you about Sarah. She's successful. She's put together. She's the person others go to for advice. But she hasn't cried in years. She keeps saying, "I'm okay." But every night she feels nothing. A hollow ache. She goes through the motions. And even though she has everything, she feels disconnected from everything. She doesn't feel joy. She doesn't feel sadness. She just feels numb. Sarah could be anyone. She could be you. She could be me. She could be the person next to you right now. But here's the good news. That numbness, that silence inside, it doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're overdue for emotional honesty. It means you're ready to come back to yourself. Here's what I've learned and what changed everything for me. Feeling your emotions doesn't break you. It frees you. Let that land. Allowing yourself to feel sadness opens the door to healing. Acknowledging your anger shows you where your boundaries are. Sitting with your fear teaches you where you're still growing. You don't need to run from these emotions. They're not here to hurt you. They're here to guide you. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying it's worth it. When I finally stopped pretending I was fine and started admitting when I was overwhelmed, grieving, anxious, everything shifted. Not overnight, but slowly and surely. I felt lighter, more present. I stopped reacting to everything with fear. I started responding with truth, with clarity, with love, not just for others, but for myself. And I want that for you too. So here's what I want you to take from this. Suppressing emotions doesn't make you strong. It makes you disconnected. And disconnected people can't truly live. But when you allow yourself to feel without shame, without guilt, you begin to heal. You reconnect. You breathe. You come home to your own heart. You are not too much. You are not too sensitive. You are human, and your emotions are valid. You've survived by avoiding. Now it's time to thrive by confronting, and you don't have to do it all at once. Start small. Acknowledge one feeling today. Write it down. Say it out loud. Give it space. That alone is healing. If this resonated with you, drop a comment below. Let's break the silence. What's one emotion you've been avoiding? And what do you think it's trying to tell you? If this video helped, give it a like. Share it with someone who needs it. And don't forget to subscribe. Turn on the bell so you never miss another conversation like this one. We're building a community that chooses truth over numbness, connection over perfection, healing over hiding. And if you're ready for the next step, check out my next video on emotional intelligence, where we explore how to use your emotions as allies, not enemies. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being brave enough to feel. And as always, give yourself grace. You're doing better than you think. See you in the next one.